Persistence hunting is unnatural. You would never do that if you could help it. Watch videos of predators that don't have hands to build weapons or traps, and they have to keep chasing and chasing. It takes a lot of energy for them to do that, and most hunts the prey actually gets away. Polar bears have a 2% success rate in hunting seals. Most mammals have a success rate below 50%. Animals such as black-footed cats and African wild dogs are the exception with high success rates. Every time you choose to hunt animals, you're making a risk-reward calculation because you don't want to expend energy and you don't want to get injured. You would never want to chase small animals in nature because of, first of all, they're hard to catch. Secondly, they give very little food even if you do catch them. And thirdly, you end up tiring yourself out. You can watch videos of predators such as wolves and cheetahs chasing them, and the rabbit is very adept at dodging its pursuers. Yes, you could have multiple people coordinating to hunt the rabbit, but that equals more energy invested for a small reward because you then have to split the meal. If you bothered hunting rabbits, you would trap them or throw something at them instead. You would only chase animals of certain size, and this is not persistent hunting, this is more like luring it into a trap or cornering it, not what is displayed in the documentary that is about persistence hunting, because then you could justify bringing more people and investing in the organization of trapping, crafting weapons, and planning. Hunting is a lot safer with humans than with other animals because we always have the option of doing it in groups. We have weapons to keep them at range, either spears or bows, and we can make holes or traps to immobilize animals. All of these things make hunting safer, faster, and easier. Think of the ridiculousness of pursuing an animal far. You would want to drag it back to your tribe to feed them, or you would have to go back and forth to bring your people there to feast on it. This is after you've exhausted yourself pursuing it. It's not that you would never run at an animal. You could ambush it to catch it off guard, or you could sprint and throw a rock or a spear. Some prey animals are very dangerous as they can kick you or gore you with their antlers, so you don't want a straight up confrontation with them. You would want to surprise them and bring as many people to attack them as possible. You could run at them to scare them into falling into the pit they dug earlier, so you could stab it safely from above. Often the prey animal is stronger than the predator, actually. That's why sometimes predators have to actually gang up to get one prey animal from the herd. So you would need numbers to bring it down. If you would be part of a tribe that uses your intelligence to hunt instead of your endurance, you would think that another tribe that uses endurance to be stupid and one that wouldn't last long. Humans aren't pursuit predators. We're a mix of ambush, throwing, pack hunting, foraging, and trapping predators. I say foraging because I'm including, gathering shellfish, and in that sense we're preying on things that can't really move. Animal agriculture came about because we didn't want to spend time tracking down animals. We wanted easy access to meat. As unnatural as herding and farming is, it's infinitely more natural than pursuit predation. If humans in nature could help it, they will not spend any time hunting if they had food readily available. If you give animals free food despite never working for that, they will still eat it. Think about what would be the easiest way to sustain yourself would be if civilization collapsed and you were the only person left on Earth. Would you go out and try pursuit chasing to get your food? No, you would think of a way to get food as easily as possible. If you hunt, you would use a gun and car to do it. But realistically, You won't even hunt because it's dangerous to do it alone, and if you go into the wilderness, you can get injured hiking and predators can hunt you. You would take the easy route and go to a farm where the infrastructure is already set up to produce food, or you would go to the coast and pick up shellfish to eat. Getting food in the most inefficient way is the most unnatural and dangerous thing you could possibly do. I haven't gotten into the fact that other predators can ambush you in the distance you cover to get your prey, and the fact that you couldn't even do it in forests anyway. Modern forests are maintained specifically so that people can travel through them. You risk tripping and falling trying to chase prey through the forests. So I actually wrote the script before watching the persistence hunting video. I watched it years ago and I also forgot most of the details, but persistence hunting is even dumber than I remembered. Right off the bat, the narrator tells that only the sand people of the Kalahari Desert do this, and that just says everything because it's the dumbest way to hunt. They use 3 people in their hunt for a reward of 1 kudu, which looks like a deer. Like, they're not even getting an entire group of animals, they're only getting 1. The narrator talks about how men ran their prey down before they invented weapons. This is incredibly stupid. There was never a time when Homo sapiens did not have access to weapons. Homo sapiens have been around since 300,000 years ago, but the Stone Age lasted for 3.4 million years. Stone Age people before our current speciation as Homo sapiens had spears, alatos, knives, and axes. This is misinformation about how we had to hunt prey barehanded. Stone Age humans never went unarmed when hunting. The narrator then talks about how running on 2 feet is better than 4, completely missing the fact that throwing a spear and killing an animal is better than chasing it for 8 hours. A trap is even more efficient, since it takes no time once set up. Hunting a bigger animal is more efficient, since you get more meat, and staying with a group to hunt is a lot safer than hunting alone. He says it like it's something that humans should be proud of being able to do. No, anyone who hunted like that in nature is dumb. Some more propaganda trying to insist that humans are meant to do it because we have sweat glands. The fact that the hunter has to drink from a container proves that's bullshit. Pottery vessels that could carry liquids were only invented in 18,000 BC, so how could our Stone Age ancestors just take a drink during the hunt? They also wouldn't have been able to keep it from spilling when they're running, so again, this scenario is pure propaganda. He throws the spear at the end, but earlier the narrator implied that they killed the animal without weapons at the end of the chase. You know how dangerous it would be to try to kill an animal unarmed? Many herbivorous animals are stronger than humans, so how would you even do this alone? You would die if you came at an animal around your size, unarmed. Most animals you would want to hunt would be bigger than you, in fact. They could kick you like a horse could, they could gore you with their antlers and tusks, and they could charge at you and trample you if they're big enough. Now, at the end of the 8-hour hunt, you have to drag the corpse all the way back to your tribe, or you go back to fetch your tribe to bring the corpse, or they somehow are as good trackers as you are and can find you so you don't drag the corpse back at all. The more you think about it, the less viable this so-called ancient hunting technique is. If it did happen, anyone who used it would be the worst hunter on Earth. That's not even considering that the fact that during those 8 hours, or at the end, you could be attacked by another tribe or some predators. You're exhausted and unarmed after beating an animal to death with your bare hands, and you're either dragging the corpse back, running back to fetch your tribe, or waiting for your tribe to catch up to you. If it's the third option, you're assuming that they can track you, and they're also assuming they caught the animal, making the trip worth it for them. What if you come across a saber-toothed tiger that wants your kill because you left the corpse to fetch your tribe or are currently dragging it back? You're unarmed and exhausted after using the dumbest hunting technique invented. How do you think that's going to turn out? Remember, this was supposedly an 8-hour run with some walking, so you're not getting back in an 8-hour walk. I just realized that there's even greater stupidity to this. It would be getting dark after an 8-hour chase, so it's harder for you to find your way back or for your tribe to catch up to you. So you're alone in the dark where you could be attacked with no shelter. So you could start in the morning, but still, it's really 8 hours chasing spent, then 8 hours of your tribe coming to you or you going back to them. If it's the latter, it's you dragging it back, not running. So it's going to take even longer. Or you just go there alone back to your tribe and you tell them, and then you run or walk back to the corpse. The more you think about it, the dumber it sounds. So no matter what, it'll be dark and you won't be together with your tribe. This video's comment section is full of normies who don't consider the absurdity of this scenario. Some religious spirituality nonsense, of course. No one in nature has ever gone into spirituality for animals. It's just as mentally ill as having empathy for an oyster you eat. I know this video ostensibly is only talking about the sand people, but inevitably people are going to impose their fantasy on all our Stone Age ancestors. Don't tell me no one's doing that. Look at this comment right here. The sand people have nothing to do with your ancestors. It's a fictional video. Look at how the normies are easily tricked. They hate running and can't do it for long, but somehow believe our ancestors did it. This guy almost grasped the truth, but still fell for the lies. Working hard for little gain is dumb. If you say you work hard for 8 hours for 1 cent, you wouldn't say it's a great thing. Take away the context of a tribesman hunting and put it in the context of working for money in which you exchange for meat, and you see how stupid this tribe is. You put way too much time, too much energy, and too much risk for too little gain. It's only because a cloak of ancestor worship and spirituality has been placed on this video does this pass by normies. Look at this moronic comment. My ancestors literally couldn't have done it, even if they thought of something this stupid, considering how dense the vegetation would have been. You're probably wondering why I'm looping the same gameplay over and over again, because that's what persistence hunting would have been like. Just imagine actually running in real life for 8 hours for one small animal. Look, I can just throw something and get a kill, just like in real life. Why would anyone chase an animal when they could just throw something and get something to eat immediately? Imagine you were starving and you need to run for 8 hours every time you want to eat meat. Anyone would die in that scenario because they wouldn't have the strength to hunt. Think about the difference in the amount of energy needed to run compared to the amount of energy needed to throw a spear. It's no competition, and anyone who chooses the former would have the tribe starve to death. You're actually insulting your ancestors if you think that that's what they actually did, because you're calling them bad hunters. You would not exist if that's what really happened.